Aloha, everyone. This is our Hawaiian Volcano summary for January 30th, 2025. Just over 1 week ago, the 5th episode of Kīlauea Summit Eruption started on Wednesday, the 22nd of January, and lasted about 14 hours until Thursday, the 23rd. And within the last 7 days, we've had episodes 6 and 7 both pop up as well. Episode 6 lasted about 13 hours, and episode 7 about 16 hours. And the first of those pairs, the 6th, went from Saturday the 25th, or Friday the 24th to Saturday the 25th. And the 7th episode went from Monday the 27th to Tuesday the 28th. And as it currently stands, the USGS is putting out that the next episode could occur within the next 1 to 4 days. So as soon as tomorrow, the 31st, or into the first few days of February. So that's the current status of what's happening. You guys saw a clip here of the reactivation of the south vent and the north vent during episode 1, the latest episode of Eruption on a volcano. But all 3 episodes together, here's episode 5, where you see just the north vent activated. And after about a day and a half of pause, it reactivates for episode 6, once again, just the north vent. And episode 7 activates both of the north and south vents, with the southern vent having been mostly inactive prior to this. So that's the view of the vents themselves. The USGS has released this time-lapse image taken from the west rim, episode 7 once again, and you see the vents starting to put out lava flows across the crater floor. Each of these last 3 episodes has covered about half of the crater floor of Halemaʻumaʻu, and it does so in these series of perched areas, right? It's almost like a perched pond here, and you see rapids that spill over into the next one, that spill over into the next one, and so on and so forth as the lava spreads from the vent across the crater floor. You do also see these glowing spots further afield, farther away from the vent across the crater floor. And it seems that there are still some ooze-up flows occurring around the perimeter, as well as lava injecting below the crust in some of these areas. And to see this most easily, it'll take you to the B2 camera. And this is just a clip that comes from the afternoon of the 27th to the beginning of the 28th. So you see that first jump is artificial, but then you see how the flow actually moves from close to the vent towards this closer area, even injecting and causing cracking from below in the recent lava flows. So that's what's happening on the crater floor. It's all contained within the same area, the southwest part of the summit caldera within Halemaʻumaʻu, and tracked by the ground tilt on the volcano. So this is the last week of ground tilt, and so you see the pressurization of the volcano building up to the start of episode 6. When episode 6 starts, that relieves that pressure for that duration, and then begins to recharge in between episodes 6 and 7. And about when you reach the same pressure threshold as episode 5 here, from 5 to 6, we see episode 7 begin. But it goes longer and relieves more pressure than before, and it's building up over a longer interval thus far. So here's the rate the USGS is predicting for 1 to 4 days to reach the threshold and reactivate once again. So those last 2 episodes fit in the last pattern of the month here: 7, 6, 5, 4, and 3. So you can see that the last few have been overall smaller than the previous set of fountain episodes as far as the depth of relief of pressure underground. Earthquakes have been fairly low in the background in the south flank, and not much else happening across the volcano. The major impact now has been the VOG, because during each of these episode bursts, there's a big emission of gas, which is flying with our variable and Kona winds across many communities island-wide. Here is a forecast currently, as we state today, at about 1,000 tons per day during the pause, with no episode fountaining at present, but the winds blowing strongly from the southwest and the south, bringing anything that comes out to the north here. So if the volcano does reactivate, that is something to watch, is these strong winds. And there have been VOG impacts in the last few days. This is a capture from the satellite from this past week, just to show. Yeah, so that is Kīlauea, and Mauna Loa remains quiet with very few earthquakes at its summit, very few earthquake counts compared to the buildup to the 2022 eruption, and still in that post-eruption phase of recharge, where we see the volcano still very slowly and steadily rising elevation as it fills with magma below. And that's our Hawaiian volcano summary for this week.